All right, welcome into 100 Proof News, a new podcast video from the creators and producers of 100 Proof History, everybody's favorite history podcast. I am one of your hosts, Chris, and we have our other host, Gregory. He's the main host of the podcast, but he's kind of like a backseat driver here. What's up, Greg?
Oh, nothing. I like how you said that we're the creators and producers.
I'm
also a gaffer.
Yeah.
You do lighting.
Yeah.
Nobody else is involved in this.
Good, right?
This might be a shocker to all the podcast listeners, but Wolf Dick is a made-up character.
What?
Yeah, it's not an actual invalid producer of our shows. Cat's out of the bag.
If you've never listened, he has one working testicle and two working fingers, and he produces a podcast. Okay,
not related to Dick Wolf,
right? The suspension of disbelief can only take you so far, and we have stretched that limit on our history podcast. But this is our current events ish video podcast. You know, just talking about news, things that have happened recently. I would like to start off by saying fuck Travis Scott for all that shit that just happened here recently. His music kind of sucks, and I don't understand the appeal. And then all that shit happened, and I definitely don't understand the appeal now that he's murdered 10 people.
Old man shouts at clouds.
It's just talking. I don't understand it.
Not even playing an instrument.
Yeah.
You get him a steel guitar, then we'll fucking talk.
Yeah, no. That's serious business news. That's not what we talk about here. We talk about the lighter side, the fun shit, for the most part.
Yeah, like Brian Laundrie.
Yeah.
The light and fluffy stuff.
Well, he's a lot lighter now. He's decomposing, so technically it's correct.
Point to Chris.
Thank you. Well, Greg, I would like to first apologize to our Patreon listeners who are seeing this, and maybe some of our new listeners too, because we are coming out a little bit later than usual. There's a little bit of personal drama in my life I had to handle. She's not pressing charges, so it all worked out in the end.
God damn it.
No, I did have some serious personal drama. Also, I was traveling. I did some traveling with the family. It was a bit of an adventure, but I would like to use that to introduce our listeners to a new segment that I like to call Hypothetical of the Week.
You can't just say personal drama.
No, I have
and expect to not have to talk about it.
No,
you could have made something up.
I could have. I did make something up about her not pressing charges, but no. There was some stuff that I'm not going to go into because it would embarrass some people who are very close to me, and I don't want to do that to them. For all the millions of people who will see this, I don't want to drag my relatives and friends and all that their name through the mud because they made some terrible fucking life decisions, and I get to tell you I told you so later, but that's unrelated. But no, let me get to the hypothetical of the week, Greg. I was like I said, I was traveling. We get to the airport, our flight's delayed like 4 hours. We have to sit there. It's miserable, yada yada yada. The flight that boards before us, everybody loads on, and then a lady rushes up and says, I missed the boarding. And you're like, oh God, that's fucking terrible. And they're like, well, we boarded 175 passengers. You know, she's like, I didn't hear you call my group number, all this. I was in the bathroom, yada, yada, yada. And I started thinking, it's like, okay, Gregory, they're calling your boarding group. You're the last boarding group. So, you have like 5 minutes to get on that fucking plane. All of a sudden, your stomach starts cramping and you're about to shit your pants if you don't get to a bathroom very soon. Do you shit your pants or miss your flight?
I mean, there's a lavatory at the front of the plane.
Well, in this plane, it's in the middle or in the back. And they're like being very strict, and they'll just straight to your seat, man. Just straight sit the fuck down so we can take off. It's a hypothetical.
Man. Yeah, I know. But there's so many variables involved with where's the plane going? Is this an important trip, or is this just a at your pace sort of thing?
No, let's say you have to get back.
What kind of shit is it going to be? Because you can, like, when you're having stomach issues, it's diarrhea, isn't it?
It's diarrhea. Yeah, you're going to sit and shit for like 3 hours. But if you miss the plane, like, you're going to have to call in sick at work. You're going to have to explain all that, you know. Maybe let's up the ante and say it's like the birth of your child you're trying to get back to see.
Then I shit my pants, dude.
Yeah.
But if it's just one of my bro trips that I'm having, probably just miss it.
Yeah,
It's going to cost so much money because I don't ever get that fucking insurance.
I don't either. Because I'm like, I'm not going to miss my flight. I'm going to be there 3 hours early, like staring at my fucking watch every 2 seconds, looking up at the board, like, oh, okay, it's on time, but we're boarding in 4 hours. So it's
Did you almost miss your flight back from Disney World?
I did, actually. You have no idea how much stress this fucking caused me because it'd been delayed. It'd been delayed like 3 hours. We missed our transportation from the hotel to the thing because they won't reschedule for a delay. And I'm like, I'm not getting there at 7:30 for a 1 o'clock in the afternoon flight. There's no fucking way.
Be getting drunk at that fucking Chili's, though.
Yeah. So I had to Uber up to the airport, pay like $60 or whatever to Uber up there. And we get there and everything's fine. We're there like 2 hours early. We're all reading our books, you know, just kind of chilling in the little terminal to the gate waiting area.
We're a learned family.
Well, I had to like rush to finish like 3 chapters of the book for our next episode of the podcast. Don't tell Greg that I was up against it. No, but so, and then like right as we're boarding group 7 and right as boarding group 2 is announced, my lovely, sweet, innocent 9-year-old daughter says, I have to go to the bathroom very bad right now. And I'm like, oh God, she's going to take fucking forever. She's going to be in the bathroom's like 6 miles down the shit ass terminal out there in Orlando. It's like the world's worst fucking airport. Like, we're going to miss this fucking flight because my kid had to pee at the least opportune moment.
Boarding group 2, man. It's so long.
They left. They go to the bathroom. By the time they get back, it's boarding group 5. And they didn't even go to the bathroom. They got to the bathroom, saw there was a line, and came back. And she said, I can hold it till, you know, I get on the plane. I'm like,
a line?
Yes.
This does sound like a shitty airport.
They have, in Orlando's MCO airport, they have like 4 stalls in each bathroom. And like all these fucking families are coming in there just to go to Disney World and Universal. And it's ridiculous. Like for guys, it's no big deal because we're in and out for the most part. Like if you gotta, you know, you got to blast one out so you don't miss your flight. That obviously takes some time. But for the most part, we're just like boom, 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 boom.
You just go in the urinal.
It's a power move.
Yeah.
But no, we did make it. But that was the, like, I'm sitting there like, oh God, what is worse, shitting your pants or missing a flight? Because one of them is
pretty bad.
One of them is going to cost you a lot of money. The other one is basically just embarrassment and inconvenience for everyone else on the plane for the next 3 hours.
Oh God, that's awful. That's an awful scenario.
You're welcome.
Either way, because you're going to be out so much money.
Yeah,
and you're going to be in a fucking airport while you figure all this shit out.
Oh yeah,
waiting.
That was the crazy thing to me too, because there's a lady there while we're waiting. She's like, "Oh, we fly standby," which I get is like super cheap. Like I could not imagine. Because she had to spend all fucking day in that airport waiting for somebody to have a cancellation or a room on the flight or whatever so she could save some money. I'm like, no, I will pay whatever it takes to get out of here at a scheduled time and get home at a scheduled time.
So would you shit your pants?
I think I'd shit my pants before I missed a flight. I think I would. I don't even need like the birth of my child, grandma's dying back home.
Just the inconvenience of missing the flight.
Yeah. Especially on the way home, because the fun part is over. And now you just have the fucking anxiety. You're like, I just want to get home, sleep in my own bed, get all my stuff. I got to work tomorrow. oh man, this is the worst. I should have taken tomorrow off. What was I fucking thinking? And then like, no, I'm just shitting my
I
pants.
just feel like there's so many ways to make this situation amicable for all parties. Like you get on the plane and you just immediately, you pull down your mask and you're like, I have to really, really go to the bathroom now, like now, and people will clear the way if you're assertive enough. And you would get back there, you would be able to just boom, you'd be good. But that's when the police come on board to escort you off the plane because you pulled your mask down.
And this man
is very anti-mask. He's back there taking a shit right now.
They just assume you've swallowed a balloon. You're like, oh, I'm gonna fucking die if I don't shit this thing out right now. But I don't think the passengers would be willing to accept. Like they couldn't take off because you were in there just blasting ass, just into that metal toilet. Like everybody, like this fucking guy. Like as soon as you got out, some overweight dude who didn't want to wear a mask for the last 6 hours just punched the shit out of you. Like, and then it just goes from there. It's just a downhill slide because there have been over 5,100 assaults on airliner employees this year. And I think
that's why we can't drink fucking alcohol on domestic flights anymore.
Yeah, I think it was like 3,900 were mask related or something like that. It was ridiculous.
I've got PTSD from that shit.
Not being able to drink on a plane.
Yes,
that's fucking.
Because I didn't know that was a thing.
It's my
wife and I were on it, and I was just like, dude, I got off the plane the other day, and I told her that is the first sober plane ride I've had in I don't know, 15 years.
Yeah, it's the worst. Because, the alcohol used to, a little bit calm my anxiety. I do have a little bit of flight anxiety because I get in the air, and I've told you this, I get in the air and
I read that fucking 9/11 book.
That doesn't help. And then
I was reading that on a plane, like, fuck.
I get on a plane, I'm like, how does this like 20-ton heavy tube of metal stay airborne? And I'm like, no, don't question the magic. Don't question it, because as soon as you question it, it's like looking down on a cartoon and you're like, oh fuck, fell off the cliff. I just I do have anxiety every time we hit turbulence. Like, this is it. This is fucking it. I'm gonna die. I think flying back from my honeymoon, maybe it was something else, I can't remember, but the flight back, we started hitting turbulence and we're watching Monuments Men. And I'm not a praying man, but I was like, Jesus, don't let the last movie I ever saw be Monuments Men. This is fucking garbage.
Pro tip for all of our watchers out there: you can legally bring little mini bottles on board with you. Now, it is airline policy for you to not be able to drink them, but it's legal. It's under the liquid requirement for each vessel. And when they're not looking, you're just fucking bop, 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 bop.
Good luck, stuff.
Completely legal, just kind of against policy, like I said. So
I know we have some actual news to talk about. Can I talk about another piece of anxiety? And that's the fact that they bring me a drink and then 20 seconds later they're walking around with the trash bag. Like,
I know. Like, am I supposed to chug this fucking thing?
Yeah, I do.
I want to eat the ice. I got dry mouth because I drank too much last night.
I'm like pouring a drink, chug it, pouring it, and like finally I can throw away the can and the pretzels. Like, yeah, I did it. We still have an hour and 45 minutes on this fucking flight, but I have no trash for these people.
Yeah. I hate it.
Yeah. Well, okay. I think I've given the people something to think about, whether or not they'd shit their pants. So let's get into the news. Well, a lot's happened since we've done one of these shows. We usually do them for our Patreon listeners. We're releasing them to the plebeians as it is now. A lot's happened. There's been a lot of big news. Like I said, Travis Scott, Astroworld. We had some crazy shit happen, but I'd like to go back a couple weeks to November 2nd, and it's here in our home state of Texas. And that's when the QAnon nut jobs showed up at Dealey Plaza because they were sure that JFK Jr. was going to reappear, declare himself president of the United States, and declare Michael Flynn as the vice president. Oh, I'm sorry. No, wait. He was going to declare that Donald Trump was the president of the United States based on a 1871 election that went all sideways, but it didn't because we've talked about it. You know, that was the Grant administration. Nothing went sideways in that election at all, but they've said nothing counts since back then. So now Donald Trump is the 19th president of the United States, but he's going to step aside and give it to JFK Jr. And then Michael Flynn would be his vice president. And
this is real news.
This is real news. And you might go, oh, well, no, that's crazy. I bet nobody showed up for that. No, hundreds of idiots showed up in Dallas in the rain, in the cold. I've
seen the videos.
Rain. Yeah, in the cold rain to wait for the reappearance of a guy who's been dead for 22 years and was famously a very strong Democrat.
Like his father.
Yes, I don't understand.
I actually heard reports of the people there spreading a rumor that if he didn't show up there, he was going to show up. The Rolling Stones were they were doing a concert, I guess, not far from there later that evening, that he was going to show up as the opening act, perform a rock concert.
Yes.
And then all the same shit.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Fuck.
Don't fucking question it, Greg.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically how their fucking minds work. It's wheels off crazy. I didn't understand any of it. Like I was reading it and
you have to be stupid to get it. It's one of those things.
Yeah, it is.
You know, like anybody with a brain, you're not going to get it. Don't worry.
Yeah. You're like, wait, the dead son of a dead president's going to come back on a random day in November in Dallas next to the X where the president was shot. And by the way, if you guys don't know, if you go down to Dealey Plaza in Dallas, there's an X on Elm Street where he's been shot or where he was shot. No one knows who puts that X out there. Like state of Texas, city of Dallas, they always clear it up and someone goes back out there and puts a giant fucking X out there.
Yeah.
So it's a mystery. So it's probably JFK Jr. putting the X where he was going to come back like a fucking.
I feel like when we were doing our JFK episodes, I remember reading that it was the city or maybe the whoever's running the museum there at the book repository.
Yeah.
Repository? Depository?
Depository.
Depository.
Suppository.
Oh, yes. The book suppository. It was one of them doing it, but I remember reading that they had discontinued doing it.
Oh, okay.
And actually, because people were like going out in the street and taking pictures. But
it's very dangerous.
Yes. Now there's people that come by and just put it back whenever it's stripped away. So
yeah, if you've ever been
for whatever
Texas,
that's worth.
If you've ever been to Texas, we can't drive for shit. So you're going to go out and stand in the middle of the road so you can take a picture next to next like this, like the fucking dude, the meme of the guy posted next to the tombstone. Like if you're going to go do that, you are risking your fucking life. There's going to be another X right there. Like I'm surprised it's not an X and then like 6 crosses up on the sidewalk of everyone who's been fucking run over by an asshole driver.
Yeah, you ever notice like Christians are really bad drivers?
You never see a Star David on the side of the road.
You don't. You don't ever see the crescent moon.
Yeah.
None of that shit. It's always crosses.
Big golden Buddha just sitting there, just weighing down the side of the road. No, it's always crosses. No, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. But yeah, no, it's crazy. And then they came back. I don't know if you know this. They came back the Saturday after thinking JFK Sr. was going to come back to life there with Jackie O, because the same guy who has done the numerology has claimed that the Kennedys are descendants of Jesus Christ and they will resurrect and then pronounce Donald Trump as the fucking president.
How old would JFK be?
Ooh, I don't. He was born in like 1918, I think. It was early.
Okay.
Because he was old even when he served in World War II as, a captain of that PT boat. Like he was old.
So
he was 40.
He's over 100 years old.
He was 43 when he was elected in 60. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he was in his 40s.
Yes.
And so, yeah, he would be over 100 years old now. Yeah.
In question,
Yeah.
if he wasn't a legitimate president, because again, we're going back to that election from Grant's time,
Yeah.
then what authority would he have to?
None of it makes fucking sense. None of it.
Do people like, do they believe this, or is this like cosplay?
No, it's, you know what it reminded me a lot of? And you have to go back to find this episode of our history podcast, but the Millerites who formed the Seventh-day Adventists, you know, they're like,
Yeah.
the guy's like, hey, the earth's going to end on this date based on numbers I found in the Bible. So everybody shows up and it doesn't end. Then he says, oh, I was wrong. It was this date. And he keeps growing and growing and growing until it becomes a church. And that's what this reminded me of, because you look at the video, there's like hundreds of people out there. And there's a lot of them that believe it. And a lot of them were like believing that even if JFK Jr. didn't show up, they're like, oh, I saw Tupac. I saw Biggie. You know, I saw all these celebrities coming back to support our movement. You know, and it's like, whew, like it really emphasizes mental illness and the fact that social media and the internet gives a voice to all those people to like find each other and plant ideas in each other's head to the point that like they believe just crazy shit and they come together and believe in crazy shit. And I don't know if it's going to get better going forward. I think it's just going to get even fucking worse.
It's just wild to me that people don't see themselves being duped.
No, they don't.
Like I always thought it was weird that certain scams would prey upon people, because when you look at it, of course, with, you know, a rational head, it's like, this is obviously a scam and you got all this old lady's money because of it.
Yeah.
But this seems worse.
Yeah.
In the sense that like you're really duping massive amounts of people. I didn't realize there were so many people open to being duped this hard.
Right.
Which the QAnon thing is proving me wrong about.
Yeah, because even the base level of QAnon is absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah.
It's Democrats are feasting on the blood of children, after they sexually assault them. It's just fucking nut job stuff. And then you just take it steps further. Then it's like, okay, well, JFK Jr. is going to come back and pronounce Donald Trump president on this day. Oh, it didn't happen. Well, it's going to happen on this day. And they keep pushing those goalposts back and back and back. I think we've passed like 4 or 5 days where Donald Trump's supposed to be reinstated as president.
Yeah.
It
one
just
in March, one in August. Yeah.
Yeah. It just hasn't happened, for those people. Maybe they'll hit it big time one of these times, it just has to be right once.
They probably will in 2024. But that's another story.
It is another story. We'll save that one for a couple years down the road. Well, I think we've covered that story. If you guys have any comments, let us know down below. Please like, subscribe, talk about QAnon, all that. We will respond to you because we have nothing better to do.
It's true.
In the meantime, check out 100 Proof History, the history podcast that everyone loves, no one hates, and no one's ever been offended by. And check us out, 100proofhistory.com at 100proofhistory. Thank you guys for watching. That's all I have for you. We'll see you next time. Greg. Oh, sorry. Double salute. Oh, God damn it, Greg.
You go down. You go down. Don't. Somebody screen cap that, please.
All right.
Let's cancel Chris.
Bye.